Welcome to Chill with Zone and Company. I'm your host Zone, and today we have my boy Slim Thad, or how y'all know him as No Ego on his streaming platforms.
Well, fuck my name up every episode. Every episode.
You know I'm dyslexic, bro. You know I'm gonna mess it up. We got our boy Mr. Rivers popping in. He might not stay. He's testing the waters, and we respect that. But today we have, like I said earlier, we have a special treat. We got my aunt coming in from Chicago. She's gonna be telling us about her business ventures and what she's doing, and we're gonna promote her like we always do everybody. So let's get this party started. Today we have Lady T with us. If you don't know, Lady T.
Everybody. Everyone in the chat.
You guys can find her on YouTube, by the way. It is, what is your handle? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, Lady T got the T, and it's TEA with an exclamation mark at the end.
Mm-hmm. And there's some numbers. I want to say it's 5885, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it exactly is. Yeah.
But like always, at the end of the podcast, when you guys are done listening, you guys go scroll down just a little bit further. You guys gonna have that, that hyperlink there to click on and go to her channel, and show some love and support. And
definitely would be appreciated.
So, as always, Lady T is. You consider yourself a baker? Is that what it right? A baker or a cook?
Baker.
Huh?
I went to school for both. My passion is baking, but I'm all self-taught. Basically, I did go and do culinary art school back in the day. Actually, 2 different schools, and then I took a Scoffier baking school online. Say like I want to say 2020.
2020.
Yeah, and just spruced up on things that I already knew but wanted to be more professional about. So, yeah. And then it's just a passion, a pastime for me, a comfort zone. So I just love the baking, and that's my go-to thing.
It's crazy. I grew up knowing this lady my whole life, literally, because she's my aunt. And I didn't realize that she was very passionate about baking and cooking until she started her YouTube channel. How long have you really, since you were little, you've always loved baking and cooking?
I was 11. Yeah,
see?
Since I was 11.
I learned something new about my aunt every time.
I could go in the kitchen and make my own cake out of like a recipe book or something. I was 11. Yeah.
Okay.
And by the time I even got out of grade school, I was selling cakes to some of my friends' moms and stuff, like cheesecakes and red velvet cakes and stuff. And yeah, I used to, on the side of babysitting, that's what I would do in between, because I really love to bake, was bake goods and stuff. And then for Christmas, I start giving them out as gifts, cookies and things like that. Awesome. Yeah.
She's been doing this for a minute. What'd you say?
Uh-oh.
Lady T?
Oh, I'm sorry. And what happens, kids on deck, you always gotta, have the good snacks on deck that that's cheaper. You can make at home. It's a little bit more healthier and stuff. So yeah.
Pie and talk about it was a cake. You trying to say she made a pie and she's saying it was a cake? We have viewers in the chat trying to say they disagree with what you're saying.
What did I say?
My dad said he said pie and talk about it was a cake. I guess you made a pie and said it was a cake.
I have no clue what he's talking about.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about half the time. But we digress.
Maybe he's talking about cheesecake, because that's still technically cake. I don't know.
No, I remember you used to make some. I remember you made some really good cheesecakes back in the day. I remember you used to make those little tiny cup ones or whatever. Oh, I used to love those.
The mini ones, yeah.
Yeah, the little mini ones. So,
yeah.
When did you feel inspired to, I guess, turn your passion into content and also a business venture? Like, what really was that moment you're like, you know what? I should make this a thing. Let me make some money for this. What was that
Um,
triggering point that led you to
I
that?
want to say like around 2018. So, all by this point, I had been doing it just for family members and in the house and everything like that. I had always had Facebook, but I never really posted anything like that as far as professionally, content on a content level. Somewhere around 2018 is when I was like, I started noticing a lot more people showing what they did, on their social medias and stuff. And a lot of people had asked me for years, but I just was like, I just do what I do. I never really, post or anything like that. So that was one of the reasons that inspired me to do the YouTube. Also, with my kids being grown and I get my grandkids, yearly throughout the year, I still needed something to do. And my passion. And since I'm making cakes and things like that anyway, I figured I would start, documenting and recording and posting. And that's how I kind of went into the YouTube thing. So, and really, I don't expect too much out of social media because it's really about me just showing what I can do. I really don't expect very much back from it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to go viral on a cake or something, that's not what I really put it out there for. If it helps the next person with a recipe or something like that, or it's easier or my technique is easier, then that's what, I'm saying, gives me more passion out of posting and stuff like that because I'm going to do it anyway. I'm definitely
Exactly.
going to bake, create. I'm going to do that. I'm a real creative type person. So,
Okay. Okay. And these cakes. Now, I know you said you do these because you're passionate, but I'm assuming you also like take orders too to make some
yes,
money too. Yeah.
definitely, yeah.
How does
Yeah,
that look
I
for
that's
you?
why I will feature more of like custom cakes, like birthday cakes, theme cakes and things like that because I'm really good at it. I work really good with fondant, chocolates also. So yeah, I
Yeah,
figured
if I'm not
why
mistaken, you made
not,
a cake for my daughter one year for her birthday using Fonda. It was like a Barbie
yeah,
cake, if I'm not mistaken.
the
That was,
Barbie cake, yeah,
yeah, I remember that. My oldest
yeah,
daughter. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that.
And then Crystal's son had the Mickey Mouse. I think that one like right behind there too. But yeah, that's what I started, like with the kids and stuff and my kids and you guys and stuff like that with making cakes or regular cakes or designs because you got time to do it in the house. So I started there, but then somewhere along the lines as I got older, like why not I have the time and people are constantly asking for the cakes and cupcakes and so I've done weddings, people's weddings, receptions and stuff like that. I just need to, I think, venture out a little bit more. I would definitely love to have my own brick and mortar. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's kind of more ideas of many goals to get to that point is where I'm kind of at now.
Your a side note, your brother said, yeah, you went from making mud pies in the backyard to trying to make cakes, trying to crack some jokes on you.
him with the memory. No, that is true. That is so very true. I made mud pies in the back because like I was like I literally remember this, and I couldn't have been no more than 3. I had a little stove and a refrigerator, but I didn't have food, so I had the pans and everything. I would go pick grass in the back. That was my greens, and then I would make mud pies. I didn't try to feed them to anybody. That just a disclaimer. I never tried to feed a mud pie to anyone.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's how it started off. So I guess
I'm-
you could say she had a love for baking even at a younger age. You could go ahead and say that.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. So,
So with
go ahead. Go
my
ahead. Go,
bad,
bro.
bro.
Go ahead, bro.
With this being your passion, your business. What are some of the struggles that you've come across while in the process of creating this
I
venture for yourself?
tell you, he's a mind reader. Exactly what I was about to
My
ask you.
probably my biggest struggle is putting myself out there.
Hmm.
Um Advertising myself, my products and what I do more. I'm a bit on the shy side. So like I felt like the doing social media would help me a little bit of getting out of my shy stage, which it has,
Hmm. Hmm.
somewhat. But I would like to do more events, pop up shops and things like that, more so to get me into, mingling with a lot more people that would give me, or inspire me different ideas or different ways to go with, trying to expand. Because I would like to go online also, and sell online and shipping. And I've researched a lot of that. It's a big deal because of food safety and things like that. So, but I definitely would love to go into that field also. So,
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it. So, would you say that it's this being, like I said, your passion? Is this something that you might recommend to other people, male, female, in between?
oh yeah,
It doesn't matter.
definitely. Baking has no gender to it. Like people, if you love to cook or bake and you love to create, then yeah, I would say give it a try because like um it's like a yin yang for me, a zen, you know what I'm saying? It'll like I could be frustrated and I can go in there and create something in the kitchen and it gives me a whole nother vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's thinking out the box because it's just food. You know what I'm saying? Like you can try different things or bake different things different ways from other people and start something new. But if you are a creative person and you like have patience, because it does take a lot of patience with baking. It's a lot of science to baking also, but if you get into it and that's what you want to, you're really into that, I think a lot of people would enjoy it, especially with all the new techniques and things that they have out here now and tools and stuff. A lot of people like kids can learn how to bake, and I mean do extravagant things with decorations and stuff if that's what they want to do. It just depends on your heart and your passion.
Exactly. And
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that is so true because I go to the gym for the same reasons sometimes. But I can honestly say though, when I'm in the kitchen by myself and I'm just 90% left on to cook, I'm in my little happy place. Like I enjoy cooking. And for what you were saying about kids, like having that passion. Yeah, there are a lot of kids out there super talented. I don't know if you ever saw what was those shows they have on Netflix or the Food Network where they have like kids that are like 9 and 10, they're out there baking, chopping and stuff. I'm like, yo, like you are so talented at such a young age.
And that's what is so cool now because they have platforms and things like that for kids. Like when I was 11 doing it, I was just doing it in the house and, a friend or two and their mom, would know about it. So these days are so much cooler for any person or even a child that will want to get into that type of business. Yeah. And, the social media definitely helps out, with getting it out there so quicker.
I think also what dictates that is how you're raised though. Because I feel like if you're raised with being encouraged like to cook and try certain things, and not just judged by trying it inspires you and makes you want to keep learning or keep trying to do it. And I think that's probably a big factor for some people, especially for little kids, because there are a lot of parents who won't let their kids touch anything remotely close to cooking because you might hurt yourself, burn. They won't learn unless they make a mistake. That to me, if you're not making a mistake doing something, you're not truly learning anything. You have to make a mistake in order to learn. And if you can't say I learned something without making any mistakes.
Right. And with me mostly having boys and they're all grown, none of my kids, unless it's one of those holiday theme items, they don't really call me because they already know it. Like Travis has been cooking my son since he was 13 years old. And that's, one of the oldest. We was one of the first ones that wanted to get in the kitchen. And,
obviously.
Now he really enjoys cooking. My son, Sean,
I love my cousin.
Wants to be a chef, right? So yeah, they definitely learn more on the food side. But the bacon treats, they still will ask me to do all that because nobody can do it like mom. You know how that goes.
So confession time. Funny story. I can tell you my little cousin. He's my little cousin. He might be bigger than me, but he's my little cousin. I remember confession time when we were little. We lived in this one house, and I tried this thing with butter and bread. And you toast your bread, and you put butter on after. Well, I at night would butter my bread and pop it in the toaster because I was like, this is easier. It comes out better. And we did that, and we would do that like almost every other night. And one night, I was like, it didn't feel right with me. I didn't think we should do it. And my little cousin Travis, he was like, come on, let's do it. Don't be scared. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do it. And he went and did it and got in trouble. And I played sleep to the fullest. And I know he snitched on me. He's like, I wasn't alone. I'm playing sleep. I didn't do anything. But I think they all knew he didn't learn how to do that by himself. He definitely had an accomplice.
Damn. You just left him under the bus. You know,
it's like if you have like the spider senses. You're like, you know something's gonna go wrong. So you let them know, like, hey, we shouldn't do it tonight. Cause like we were doing it every night. Like, no shit. We would wake up every other night and we would do this. And I know people would notice because we were messing up the toaster because, you know, we're literally melting butter inside the toaster trying to do it. So one night I was like, man, I feel like we shouldn't do this. I feel like something's going to go wrong. Because I was doing it by myself at first. Like, he wasn't doing it at all. He saw me do it and then he tagged on and trying to do it. And I feel like, well, if I tell you, hey, let's not do it tonight. Let's wait a night. Let's hold off.
Not do it.
You not do it. He wanted to do it. He got caught.
But you know what child you were talking to. You couldn't tell him no not to go in the kitchen in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I know.
Oh man.
He was gonna do it.
Yeah. Man, that was.
Yeah, I think the last time I tried to bake something myself though was, man, I think I had just graduated high school.
I love baking.
And I failed at making them brownies like horrendously.
I'm actually pretty good.
Everything was burnt.
What'd you do? Just leave them in too long?
Probably.
I think so because it was no
probably had
moisture.
enough milk liquids.
All crumbles. it just crumbled to pieces.
Yeah.
That was it.
So another funny story.
You take them out a little, like maybe 2-3 minutes before they're actually done, because they when they cool off, they firm up. They'll get harder quicker. So just like a chocolate chip cookie, you will leave it a little softer because it's gonna when it cools, it's gonna firm up. So if you cook it all the way, it's gonna firm up even harder and crispier.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way that time. I was like, I don't think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't try it again.
I didn't burn up no hot. What hot dog did I burn up? I don't remember burning up any hot dogs when I was little.
Hot dogs though? Oh man.
I remember burning something, but it wasn't no freaking hot dog. I'll tell you that.
No, it was a set of paper towels. I remember the paper towels. And you stood there clapping. I was like,
you don't give a kid matches to throw away and expect them not be amazed by fire. I set the kitchen on fire. What do you expect? I wasn't completely bad when I was little, but I wasn't an angel either. So I know I was bad, but I was also a quiet bad kid. Okay.
Yeah, no, you weren't. Like, you weren't like that. Like some stuff, like you said, you would know and be like, no, I don't want to do that. You just knew, like, no, that's gonna be trouble later on. No, so, you weren't that kid.
Auntie, I gotta tell you this. All right. Mm-hmm. So my little one, the littlest one, Jaden, all right? Mm-hmm. Remember the stories y'all used to tell me that when I was growing up, when I was about his age, I'd come over to you guys' house and I asked for chicken. If I didn't have chicken, I'd throw a temper tantrum. And grandma would go out, get the chicken, make sure I had my chicken. Mm-hmm. Right? And my little one, Jaden, he's all about chicken. He wakes up for morning, breakfast, nuggets, chicken nuggets. I'm sitting there like, if my grandma was alive, she would be sitting here chuckling right now because you're asking for nothing but chicken. The chicken is the only thing you want at the time.
Oh, man.
I was like, he is definitely my kid.
Yeah, that's the cool part about it. It'd be those little things that you notice in your kids that you know is absolutely from you. Like, yeah.
Oh, man.
So you would say you would recommend this then, your business method for cooking and learning. You would recommend this for the youth or for anybody who's trying to?
Yeah, definitely. If you because like I said, it still takes there's science, math, and patience all in baking. But once you get all that, that's just the basics. The rest of it is your creativity going mostly into it, whether it's recipes or the design of the cake or whatever, it's more of creativity. The other stuff is like, just a little math or the basics. It's
Yeah.
not hard. It's the creativity and your heart into it, because like I said, anybody could do it. It
My,
really just takes wanting. It's just like having that job, like that cool job that you actually like doing. That's what baking is for me. Like I can make a job out of it, but I actually love doing it anyway. So I'm gonna,
That's dope.
it doesn't come off as work. So that's why it took a long time for me to start recording it, because I never thought of it like that. Like record this and put it up for who's gonna watch this, who's gonna do this. Till I started seeing, like, yeah, a lot of people do, So
Yeah, especially when you hold knowledge that either other people weren't able to learn from, a parent or a parental figure, or just in general. You're
yeah,
something that a lot of people would love to get insight on as well. And then not to mention, I'm sure you have a presence that makes people want to gravitate towards you as well.
yeah,
exactly,
that's
yeah.
true.
And like I said, I've always loved it since I was a kid. So I think it was more so just a part of me, because there was multiple things, that I love doing. Like even on my channel too, I throw up a lot of DIYs. I'm just a real creative person. But if
Oh, you do
you ask me
DIYs, not
to,
just cooking. Y'all hear that? She
yeah,
says she
yeah,
does
I do,
DIYs, so
yeah,
you can find her baking and cooking and do DIYs as well.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
yeah,
she's not just
you
your
almost said the
one-stop
wrong
cook. Yeah.
you almost said the wrong thing.
I did.
yeah.
I didn't catch
I don't know if it's like the
Good. Nope.
Pisces in me, but I kind of touch bases with a lot of things. I remember a lot of people describe me as a jack of all trades. Hey,
Yeah.
That's what's
I
up.
don't know.
That's
Being
beautiful.
a jack of all trades is good. Most people don't understand know like the whole thing of the jack of trades. As they say, the jack of all trades, but a master of none. But it goes a lot further than just being a jack of all trades and a master of none. It's a deeper thing that most people completely don't know.
Yeah,
What is
basically,
he
Yeah,
saying? Let's see.
I believe it's jack of all trades and a master of none is better than a master is somewhat better than a master of one, or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
yeah, yeah. Got a
It
little bit of
make a lot of
everything
sense.
in you.
Especially, yeah, you might not be, you may not have this particular specialization in this one particular area, or this
Oh,
Mhm.
completely solidified, but then you have, hey, I have all these other things that I can use and utilize.
so I'm hearing that I wasn't the only one that set the kitchen on fire. My dad
Oh,
has
that would
typed in to the excuse me, to the chat saying that
Mhm.
you also set the kitchen on fire too.
Are you sure that's your father? Because who?
Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah,
me,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. He
I
said, she
know. I
said the
know.
kitchen.
Our
She
other
said,
brother did, Larry,
oh,
but not me.
maybe he has the facts messed up.
I was gonna say, you sure that's him? That ain't somebody catfishing, because he got all the information wrong.
Oh man, said
Nah, I ain't.
nah,
He's
you
joking,
ain't
man. He
talking
trying
about
to be
me.
funny, because no, I ain't burned down nothing. That our
I
other
mean,
brother Larry
I didn't
did.
burn it down. It just caught on fire. Y'all put it out eventually.
No, I ain't
Yeah.
even. I ain't even had that. I done had an
Nah,
oven smoke on me.
I
Now I
I
have
also
had that happen.
yeah no. Let me see. Um,
Don't get mad because I'm giving up the tea, the real tea. Yo, your pop is a trap, son. Nah,
the
he's funny.
dirt. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh man.
So
He takes one.
would you doing this? What would be your take from all the stuff that you learned? Like, what would be if you had someone came to you, and was like, they saw what you were doing, and they're like, hey, I see that you're baking, you're doing your DIYs, cooking. I wanna do something similar. What would be like the advice you would give them, or would you have any advice for them per se?
Yeah, just okay, so like it's a lot of moving parts to it if you're going to like make a business out of it. If it's just for fun and I want to do this on the weekends type thing, and make a little extra money. Yeah, I could give you a whole lot of tips, but as far as the business aspect of it, because I haven't fully gotten all the way into it, I don't know all the moving parts to that. So I really couldn't say on that. But like if you're just trying to do a hustle or whatever, or you just enjoy it and you want to know more tips and things like that. Like on my channel, I still have I do like I show you how to make buttercream, different recipes, some of my own personal recipes I'll be posting sometime this week. Um you know, things like that, or different ways you could get around if you're on a budget with, say, like we do the edible images and stuff too, cakes.
Mm,
And
okay.
I usually do those on like a edible paper, like it's called like an edible paper, edible ink and stuff, edible sheet. So it's a sugar sheet, so it's all sugar and you can eat it. But if you need to get around there, I show you where you can take cardstock, which is I excuse me, which is kind of thin, and you can put rice paper on the back of it and still place it on your cake, and it's food safe. And as long as your customer knows, and you know that they're agreeing to that, to placing that on there like that, you just peel it right off like you would do a topper or anything, before you cut your cake, and it's way cheaper.
Hmm.
So, because it costs a lot to make the edible sheets and things like that. Because you need a machine for it, so people they charge for it, all the inks and stuff like that, and then you get pictures that have a lot of different colors and things like that. It could get pricey for one sheet. Sugar flowers and things like that. I suggest people learn the technique and make them in their house and freeze them themselves, because you can buy them bulk at cake shops, cake suppliers, and things like that. But you're literally going to pay $20 to $25 for one rose petal, like one little rose to go on there. So
I'd be
you
making that
could make your own.
myself.
Yeah, you can make it yourself. It's a couple of little techniques to making roses and sugar roses and stuff. It's quite easy because you're still using buttercream. You're just freezing them. And all you would have to do is have enough room. Like I have a refrigerator on the back porch now that's strictly for my cake items and things like that. Because it got too hectic with the one refrigerator and trying to do cakes and things and store,
Yeah.
And so as long as you got the room to make it, I would suggest when you're doing stuff like that, to do it daily. Today I'm going to make sugar roses, and the whole technique for that, and freeze them and store them because they last for months, literally months. You can, so I would suggest they have an app, like they have these certain apps where you can map out everything on your phone and stuff of basically cake goals, how much you would like pricing your products and things like that to help you out too. So I use tools like that also.
Yeah, my aunt's out there telling people
Help is on the way, dear!
she's out there. She's letting them know. She
Yeah,
got you.
I had to do that for myself, because once upon a time I would just give you a cake. If you asked me for a cake, I did, and I was spending money for the materials, real materials, my time, and the budget and everything. So I had to make myself like get into these apps where I'm figuring out what I'm spending on products and
Yeah,
things
especially if you
like
come out of
that.
pocket
And
for it.
yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be
So
very costly after a while.
yeah,
Your
because
brother.
after you make the cake, you don't know how to price the cake, but those apps like that help you to pricing on, how to figuring out how to price your products.
That was actually my next
It's really
question.
good.
Was how do you judge or base the price of your cakes? Are you basing it on the materials that you're using, or do you have like a
Yes.
set price for a
No.
certain type of cake?
Mainly if it's custom cakes, I'll go with custom cakes. I set by the ingredients, like what
Okay.
I'm using actually, and then there's a basically like me making the cake fee. If this
Okay.
needs to be delivered, that's in there. You know what I'm saying? If you ask for special toppers or fillings and things like that, all that is figured in. If it's say like you want like a German chocolate cake, a straight lemon cake or something like that, just regular 3-layer cakes or whatever, and it's not a custom birthday design or anything like that, those would be regular set prices because I already know what I use for my materials, and it's basically the same. It's just a different flavor. So
yeah, your brother just said you learned all the big secrets from him, jack of all trades, the real jack of all trades. And he said you just made him a German chocolate cake recently.
that's all he ever asked for is German chocolate cake. He never wants anything else but that or in cupcake form.
Man,
Yeah.
don't
Better
let my
slow
father
down
hear
before you
that.
turn into a cake. I have
I'm
a
about to be the first
I
one.
think he has gotten the cheesecakes from me, but mostly for his birthdays, all he ever wants is German chocolate cake. And they're good, but I'm usually like I'm a cake and filling girl. Like I gotta have some type of filling, a Biscoff cake, and
I gotta make you one of my cakes, Auntie. I make a tres leche cake, the 3 milk. Oh, you probably not like the 3 milk cake. Yeah, I make those really good. I like to cook and bake. I think I got into baking or cooking in middle school. Like I dabbled with it, I think, growing up a little bit here and there, experimenting.
Yeah.
But I don't think I truly started liking it until middle school when I had to take that culinary arts class at Ellis Middle School, and I learned how to cook. I mean, they taught us how to sew. So yes, I do know how to sew. I actually sew pretty damn good. I patch up my kids' clothes all the time if I need to, or even my gym clothes. If I get a little hole underneath my arm, I'm sewing that bitch up because why throw it away? And I can still fit it. Just need to be stitched up a little bit, you know. But I definitely, as I gotten older, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy baking. I take tons of photos and put them up in the Discord. Like if you go to my Discord thing, I have a section where I just take pictures of the food I'm making. And I do ones with the photos of the outside of how when I take scenery photos I do, because I do photography stuff too. But I will never forget 2 instances. So my oldest daughter, right, Cora, she tried to make her grandmother used to make these Texas sheet cake, and it's really good. It's like a fudge, it's kind of like a German chocolate type thing too, but it's good. It's very different. It's very hard to explain it, but it's good. And I remember her trying to make it and Magda trying to help her make it, and they're like, and they were asking me for like, you know, my opinion, and I'm looking at what they were doing. And I'm looking like, why is this batter like so bright? Like, what's wrong with it? And they're like, something's wrong. It doesn't taste right. And I'm like, all right, let's you know, see what you did. And the ingredients said, you know, sugar, salt, all of this stuff. And I'm looking, and they're like, yeah, we get 2 cups of salt. And they keep going. I'm sitting there thinking in my head,
Wait,
2
what?
fucking cups of salt? Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm not eating that shit.
Like, wait, what? I look at the recipe, I'm like, y'all use salt? It asks for sugar. Like, 2 cups of salt?
Right.
You need sugar. They're like, oh. I'm like, oh God. So then they remade it, and it was right. I'm like, see, you see the difference in the batter? Like, how the batter looks all brown and nice looking with the sugar, and this other one looks all orange with the salt? It's like, we're not eating that shit.
I hope they didn't eat it in because you could passed out from that.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And then Magda recently she started this thing baking cookies. Like she'd make some good cookies. I give it to her. She made good cookies. But she had gotten to this thing where she was making cookies, and her first time making cookies, because she's not a baker. Give her credit. She tried, but she's not a baker. Now she does it good. But her first time making cookies, she's like, I don't have enough flour. I'm like, what do you mean you have enough flour? The recipe asks for 11 cups of flour. And I'm like, wait, what? How many cookies are you making? And I'm like, it's asking for 1.5 cups of flour. I was like, 11 cups.
Wow.
I was like,
gotta make sure
there's
you
gonna be
go
some
over.
tough ass cookies.
You got to make sure that you watch over every time that she's about to bake something, dog.
But
if she's
after
eating
that,
it like that.
after that, she's never made any more issues with the cookies. It threw me. I was like, I looked at her, I'm like, I said, I got one that wants to add too much salt, one that wants to put too much flour. And I will never let them live it down. Every time they say they're gonna bake, I just kind of look at them like, you got enough flour? You got enough salt? Like, I don't think I'll ever let them live that down. That but for me is by far the funniest. But yeah. So
Yeah.
you answered all those questions. I don't have any more.
Yeah, I said I when you sent them to me, I was like, I just read them, but I don't have to study. Like I said, everything is pretty much open with me. I'm older and past that.
I think every interview, even when I did interviews when I was in high school, when I was in a newspaper, I feel like every interview should be relaxed. It should not feel like it's pressured. It should be simple, because if you ask basic questions, it normally sparks more questions and more information you can get from somebody from the basic question from an interview. And that's something I learned a long time ago. And I had someone who like did interviews for a long time, and I ran it with them, and they were like, yo, those are solid questions. And those are like the basic questions I use for everybody, because those open up conversations, other directions that keep it going, and it keeps everybody relaxed. No one's feeling pressure. You don't feel like you're on the edge, like you have to watch what you have to say. I don't care about any of that. Just be yourself, relax, have fun. Because in my opinion, the most relaxing podcast and chat you can ever do is just being yourself, being natural, being authentic. I think being authentic gets you more viewers and listeners than being super flashy. Like being super flashy, yeah, you're gonna people turn their eyes and look at you for a minute. That's gonna fade. That will fade once they realize that, oh, that's all that is. They're not gonna care no more. But if you're like just true, authentic, just yourself, down to earth, and they vibe with it, you will always have people come back to you. And your brother said, Chef Bar D, that's all you know how to cook. It's raviolis. I know you are not talking about me. All I know how to cook. Look. All right. So we're gonna go there. All right. I remember one year I was supposed to come up for Thanksgiving. All right. And I said I would do all the cooking, just get all the stuff. Yeah. And now I love my aunt because how my grandma raised, they do all the cooking. The guys go do what they gotta do, and they handle stuff in the kitchen. But I like to cook, because down here holidays I do all the cooking. When my grandma was still alive and my grandpa was alive, they'd come to my house for the holidays. I do the cooking because relax, kick back. I don't cook for people often for the rest of the family, so there's not often I get to cook for the family. But when I do, I take a lot of pride in cooking because I enjoy cooking, and I think I'm pretty good at cooking. Like, my grandma loved all the stuff I made. The mac and cheese I made, the homemade mac and cheese, my turkeys, all that stuff. Like, I did great with all that. And I went to my dad's house for the holidays. He was like, oh yeah. I tell him I'm gonna do all the cooking. Then I was told I wasn't gonna do the cooking. And I'm not gonna do the cooking. I'm just gonna be told to hang out. And then I didn't get to cook. I was so disappointed because I wanted to cook.
I know I had talked to you. I don't know what if he told you that. I don't know why.
No, it was Crystal. Crystal told me I wasn't going to cook because y'all were going to do all the cooking, and then she didn't even show up. I was so disappointed. I was like,
she didn't even come.
I know.
She might have came, but I know I did most of the cooking.
But we're talking about cooking though. My dad cooking. They don't even compare to my cooking. He might be able to do like some chili or some spaghetti, but we're gonna throw dish to dish in the kitchen. You're not touching me. I'm sorry. You may think you are, but you're not. I can send you some photos, and I could tell you. Like I know you don't eat fish or lobster, but I used to throw some lobster's tail down, and Grandma loved it. My grandma loved my lobster tail. You could say, I see you say it in the chat. Oh, she didn't want to hurt my feelings. When she's asking for seconds and thirds and leftovers to take home, she's not doing it to hurt my feelings. She's doing it because she loves it. I even made her a custard pie that she absolutely loved. Like her recipe, I knew that. I made it.
While my brother over there talking, I never ate none of his food. I am not trusting. But where he come to get all his place from?
He gonna tell me put my money where my mouth is. I can put $1,000 and I can cook better than you, and you will lose that, sir. Yeah, my brother, he cooked too fast. His food too fast. I don't trust him. See, your old sister.
It'd be like 10 whole minutes. He'd be talking, I'm done. And be at the table eating. No, I'm not going. No.
I'm not going.
Me, sir. And it'd be pork chops and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do it.
Ain't never offered.
And if he ever attempt to bake something, I know I ain't messing with that. No. son. I think you trying to. Nope. Mm-mm.
She's
She's going in on you. She's going in on you.
I know.
Dang.
You trying to bake me a sweet potato pie? Oh no. What you
Oh man. Look, she done got you. She got you.
I mean, I can cook. I can't help if I cook and you don't eat the food because you're not used to eating healthy foods. I'm gonna put that out there.
No,
if you're not
I can
eating,
eat your food.
no,
I'm
not
talking
you.
about
I'm
food. I'm
talking
not
to
eating
my
my
old man that who's listening. Because I remember I made you a healthy dish and I had to fight you to eat a healthy dish because you didn't want to eat it. It was oatmeal and eggs, and I made it really good. And I had to fight you to eat it. You ate it.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Hey,
You
now,
said
if you would've
oatmeal
gave
and
that
eggs?
to my
Yeah, you can make a really good oatmeal and eggs a dish. You can make a really good.
I ever put those two together. I'm not
It's good. It's good. And if you do it right, it come out fire. And I like my eggs a little runny, so it was a little runny, little yolk in there with it. But man, bon appetit. I make some good dishes. I love creating dishes. I look at a recipe. Every recipe I use to cook, I change it. I never use the exact same recipe because sometimes I don't like what some people put in their ingredients or the recipe. So I always change it up to my needs, which I feel like every cook should be doing that. You shouldn't follow someone's recipe to the T unless you're trying to get that exact same taste. I feel like you should always make your recipe your own. You should make it your own, so that way you don't have to rely on that particular recipe. You just change it up a little bit, and voila.
Yep.
That's just
anytime I tried to make anything, I don't think I've ever written down a thing about it. Like, and it's very, very slim times, very few times that your boy has actually attempted to get in the kitchen and throw down. Last time I made anything was a ham, and that was 7+ years ago.
No, I love to cook.
I gotta get back into it.
I will always cook if I get the chance. I mean, so I cook. When I cook, I clean while I cook. I know some people don't do it, but I learned this from my grandma, and I also learned this from in school when I took a cooking class. You clean while you cook, so there's not much of a mess left over. If I can't clean while I cook, the food won't turn out good because I'm gonna be on edge. But if I get the chance to clean while I'm cooking, I'm good. I don't like having to clean up a mess after cooking. That's just me. I can't stand when someone
go in the kitchen and start. If the kitchen has to be clean, and I have to clean while I'm doing everything.
Yep, I cannot stand after someone cooks, they leave a mess, and I'm sitting there like, you're like, oh, you can clean that. What do you mean I can clean that mess up? I didn't make that mess. I cooked, and when I cook, I cleans. I cannot stand someone say, I'll cook, you clean. No, you mean you'll cook and you'll clean.
My mom's is the cook and clean person, and my pops is if I made the food, you can at least wash the dishes. And it's like,
No, I'll say the dishes sometimes. Like if the dishes we eat on, if I cook, you can wash those dishes. But the dishes I used to cook, like and all the knives, I'm cleaning it up as I'm going. I'm cleaning those as I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, as you're making food, he'll let them pile up and be like, y'all can wash the dishes. I made the food.
I can't cook like that. For some reason, in my mind, if there's a mess there, I'm all distracted until that mess is gone.
Yeah. You know what? I'm like that too, nephew. Like my house has to be clean. Like it's clutter in my mind. If I just can't. I can't do rooms like that. My open areas, living room, bathroom, and stuff. The kitchen, I have to have it cleaned. And while I'm cooking, I am cleaning with it. Like, yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah, I definitely need it. I mean, as long as my area is clean when I'm cooking, I'm fine. I'm content. Now, something my grandma used to do, and I never understood it until recently when I started cooking. So I always just wonder, like, when my grandma used to cook when I was growing up, she'd be slaving in the kitchen, doing her thing. But then when it would be time to eat, she wouldn't eat. And I always thought about, like, why are you not eating? And then it wasn't until like years later I found out that most cooks who are actually like cooking their stuff, they're tasting their food, they're eating while they're cooking. So typically they're not hungry after they finish their food because they were sampling the food, tasting the stuff, doing it. And
make sure it was right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now they're full typically. And that was always my grandmother. I used to get upset. I was like, why are you not eating? I'm already full. I was eating while I was good. I'm like, I would always give it his face like, come on, you need to eat some more. But it wasn't until actually I start really getting to a lot of deep cooking that I'm like, I understand it now. Like when you're cooking, you're nibbling on your stuff just to make sure it tastes good. Everybody's going to be happy with it. So then when it's actually time to eat, you're somewhat a little full. You're not really hungry. So you're okay not eating right away because you have been eating while cooking. So you're not that hungry no more or hungry at all for the matter. So yeah.
Damn, you just made me want a steak for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I just want to.
I don't know how that conversation made you.
I don't know, bro. I just got hungry, and steak was the first thing that popped up in my mind. You know what? We just bought basically half of a cow worth of beef. So
That makes sense.
Dead ass been smelling nothing but pre-seasoned, like they seasoned steaks and shit the entire time before they freeze them. I'm like,
Oh, that actually sounds
hungry
good.
now.
So moving past that, so that concludes our interview with Lady T.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, she is your DUI baker cooker lady to go to.
DIY.
Yeah,
DIY.
whatever that is. All right,
She is not a DUI expert. Don't do that. Don't do that. You gonna put a negative spin on it.
But I will have her links up. We're gonna roll into some other topics. I'm hoping she stays around because we'll definitely probably love to have her input on some stuff. But if she can't stay,
Yeah,
that's
I'll
also
stick
fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Karens. Well, actually, you know what? Before we talk about Karens, first I want to point out some things. For all those who watch wrestling, I know we talk about wrestling. We had last week we talked about wrestling. The week before we talked about wrestling with Reptar.
Yeah.
And then pretty much right after that, Hulk Hogan passed.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was, right? Definitely wild how that happened. And I see everybody flocking to it. And I'm like, oh my god, you gotta buy this. And I said this to her before, right when I heard the news. I'm like, yo, watch what's gonna happen. Everybody's about to milk this. They're going to try to sell merchandise, all this stuff after this man's died. Now, when his last appearance that he did on a wrestling show was on Netflix, and he was booed. He was booed horribly because of his demeanor outside the ring. It wasn't because he's not a great wrestler.
The racial shit.
Yeah, the racial shit. He was just booed. No one was feeling him. And then when he passed away, everybody's like, "Oh my god, you're crying!" It's like, look, have that same energy. Look, he's a racist.
He was old
racist.
as fuck.
He was racist.
He was from a different time frame where it was. That's how majority. I can't say all, but majority of them thought.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that as an old man, he still had that thought process. Yeah, and then not to mention, let's be real, a lot of our shit that pops up in the news it doesn't show a positive light on the black experience overall.
True.
So it's not a surprise that hey, this old guy who was definitely around during fucking. I'll even say man, listen, he was around forever.
1953 is when he was born. He was born 1 year before my grandma.
He
I'm not
was
mistaken.
born during, man, listen, they still wasn't past none of the bullshit when it came down to it. So I'm not surprised to hear that he probably heard from his grandparents some racial shit.
I feel like you can't, that excuse can't always be used because my grandma was white and she was born in that time era. And she dealt with some racial stuff too from her side of the family. And that didn't sway her not one bit. If anything, that made her not like white people sometimes. I vaguely remember her saying she was racist against white people multiple times. Because of shit like this. But for Hulk Hogan, on the other hand, as a personal person, I don't like that he was racist. In ring performance, what he did, admiration, respect, the whole 9 yards, because that was my childhood growing up before really any of the bells and whistles. Although my biological mother did tell me that he was a dick and racist in real life before it really popped off. Yeah, 1949. I knew it was something around there. But it was one of those things. So I knew for a fact that in real life person, he was an asshole. But on screen, he put on this image and, and portrayed a certain character, and that's what he was loved and praised for. The fact that everybody shunned him in the industry when he did those racist remarks and all this other stuff, and then as soon as he dies, the same people who shunned him, like, oh yeah, we got it. No, keep that same energy. He died. Everybody dies. When your family dies, do they do all the put him up in the plaque, do all this? No, they don't. They don't care. Their lives keep going. Yes, he was an idol, held a spot in the main light for the wrestling industry, but he's still a person. His death does not affect me. His death personally does not affect anybody else. Yes, he had a legacy. He was an icon for wrestling, but that was in ring. His personal life, he passed away. He passed away. Like, you don't have to milk him with legacy merchandise and all this other stuff. You didn't do that when he was alive. So why are you doing it now that he's passed away? It makes you a hypocrite, in my opinion. And then, you always have those Karens out there for women, Karens, y'all, you know who they are. And they always say, I'm not racist. I married a black person, or I'm not racist. My kids are mixed. And my opinion, not Ariel's opinion, but every time someone says to me, I'm like, that's just what a racist person would say. When they say it, I'm like, that is just what a racist person would say. I'm not a racist. A racist person would say they're not a racist.
I have black friends.
Yeah, it's like racist people can have people of color or whatever. That doesn't mean they're not still racist. They just don't show it all the time. I mean, that's what it is. But I want to coin the term for men, for a man Karen. And you can't call a male Karen because that's a female name. And you respect the gender. That's a female. I feel like a male Karen should be called Kevin. Kevin and Karen.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
Nah.
Yeah. It's like, yo, this is coming at me.
Okay.
I was like, all right, Kevin, but that's not my name. You're kind of acting like one, though. Like a Karen, but you're a Kevin.
No. I give him Brad. I give him
Brad.
Right.
No, you gotta keep the K, bro. Double K, Karen.
You gotta
Kevin and Karen. Kevin and Karen, gotta keep it because it can go anybody. There's a black Karen or black Kevin, white Kevin, Hispanic Kevin, yeah, males, Kevin.
Kevin does kind of fit.
If you think about it, like Kevin, like you're acting like a Kevin, bro. What the fuck is a Kevin? A male Karen.
I can only imagine the black version coming out. I can only imagine when they start dropping the black version. All right, Latrell.
Yeah, Jamal. All right, Jamal.
Jamal. Yeah, that's the most. Yeah.
Yo, you know what I've seen? So all funny in this. Y'all remember Martin Lawrence from back in the day, right?
Oh. Streamlabs done hit you with the.
No, it's for him because he said something. He probably said a word. It didn't give me a chance to approve it. 21 messages. 21 messages were deleted from using foul language.
That's crazy. They hit him with all of that. Because I just looked up at the phone and I seen every message was deleted. I'm like, wait a minute.
I didn't even see them come through. Or maybe they did come through. Well, I mean, we read them already. I don't know what foul language she used. Yeah. It was a delayed thing. Wait, hold on. See messages.
It had to have been.
It was all the stuff we already talked about. But they were just delayed with it. Either way, y'all remember Martin Lawrence?
Like you using that?
Yeah, remember Martin Lawrence back in the day? Maybe he's typing too fast. They gave him a break or something like that. I don't know. He's the only one in there typing
for a second.
Yeah, I didn't time him out. I mean, that's my bot. That's for safety reasons.
Streamlabs.
Yeah. But y'all remember Martin Lawrence, and he would do the what was that? When he dressed up as the chick from across the street. What was her name? Or from
Shanae.
Shanae, yeah. And how Pam. You had Gina and Pam. You know how he would like go back and forth with Pam and this and that, and you like call her a horse and all other stuff. So apparently now,
Pam should have been in that number one spot.
What should have been number one spot?
Pam should have had that number one spot. It should have been Martin and Pam. I guess Martin and Gina got a good ring, but let's be real, in my opinion,
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, they had some episode where it looked like there was some chemistry.
I was gonna say they had that episode where they was clicking them together.
Yeah. But
Okay.
apparently it's not aging well because apparently this woke generation is like Martin Lawrence. That those shows were very degrading and this and that was the culture back then. It was comedy.
Yeah.
It was a talk show. You can't look at something.
Not everybody
from,
was butthurt.
Yeah, you can't look at, and you're comedians. You gotta think about it. Comedians are meant to make jokes. Like and not everybody's gonna like what a comedian has to say. You just have to deal with it. You're not always gonna agree with them. You just have to
It's supposed
not
to be the unpopular opinion that they're speaking on.
Their job is to say what you may be thinking, but not comfortable saying, and they're comfortable to say because there's gonna be people that are gonna laugh about it. I mean, that's true for the matter.
So uptight about it today, man.
Freaking even when people drop the the N-word, and they're like even when you're like with somebody they're or white or whatever, and they're like, oh, I could say it, I'm married too. And I remember one time Magda I was with Magda and when I first met her, she's from Europe, so they view things a lot differently. They're like they don't view it the same here, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I remember one time she was getting ready to say it, I just kind of looked at her. And she's like,
don't do it.
She's like, I'm not racist though because my son's black and I'm married to a black man. I'm like, see, and that's just what a racist person would say. And I was like, and that's just what a racist person would say. Like the mask that they're not racist. They're like, I know you're not racist, but if someone from the outside saw you saying that, they're gonna look at you like, what the fuck you just say? Like, I know you're not racist.
Really do too much to say.
I was like, I know you're not racist, but I mean, the next person's not gonna say that. Not to mention, like, you just should refrain saying it because you're white as fuck, and coming out of your mouth, even though you mean no type of disrespect or no way about it, you're just trying to pick up on the slang that everybody else is using because you're from Europe. It's just not what you say in the States. Someone might smack you, which went into that conversation. Like, I remember that conversation where she was like, we talked about this before. She's like, if I got into a fight, you get my back, right? I'm like, well, it depends, one-on-one fight.
What happened?
Yeah, one-on-one fight, go handle your business. Like, fight and go do your thing. Now, more trying to jump in and try to jump you, yes, I will intervene because you're like, I'm not allowing that to happen. And it's like, and I remember she asked me, what would you do? I don't condone violence against, women, but I'm not going to let a family member or my wife get jumped, in front of me. If a one-on-one fight, handle your business. They try to jump you, I'm going to smack one of them. I'm going to smack one of them hard enough to know,
that's not enough.
Don't do it. No, it's just me. It's like, anybody else want it?
I'm not condoning putting hands on women.
I'm heavy-handed, but I'm going to let them know, this is a one-on-one fight. If y'all try to intervene, you're going to deal with me, and I'm a completely different type of animal, and it's not going to fare well for you. I just let it be known and leave it at that.
If it's a one-on-one, you gotta handle your business. But
exactly.
If once it becomes a two or more kind of joint apart, nah. I'm not just slapping one. I'm sorry. I'm grabbing, slamming, throwing. I got to. I'm not gonna allow you to get jumped. Now, what I might end up doing on the same tip, I might wind up pulling Shorty over here. Now, you whip her ass. I'm going to hold her hands back. Fuck her up now since they want to jump you.
So this statement my dad just said, he said, most Polish people don't like black folks. It's known in their country. I have to say, they may not, but since I have been to Poland, twice, 3 times? One of those numbers. I was thinking the same thing. And, when I was there, I did have a lot of people stare at me because I was like one of the few black people in this small little town. I was like, man, racist people, right? Just staring at me. And it wasn't because they were racist. They were intrigued. They were definitely intrigued. They were coming up trying to talk to me. They were smiling. They were just baffled. They were, and it threw me off. I was like, I was expecting the worst. I was like ready to throw hands because they said, yo, don't talk about soccer there or football because, they get aggressive. And I was my father-in-law who was like, yeah, you don't got to worry about that. He's like, you're big, you're black. He was like, they're not going to come ask you about football. And if they do, and you say something they don't like, they're not going to try to fight you. They're going to be afraid of you.
I'm about to fuck up a whole lot of listeners' heads right now. If they didn't know, we ruled Europe. We are not seen as the same way we're seen or portrayed in America. Over in the European countries, most European countries, I should say, they actually do fuck with black people, not just because of what we've done for the world, bringing culture and shit like that, but we legitimately first off was running Europe at one point in time.
Yeah.
And it's been whitewashed to show that we had that. Oh yeah, we were not the wild ones. Then we was in charge. We actually showed a lot of motherfuckers, especially white people, how to get clean, how to grow shit, how to actually like we did a lot.
I know a lot of people who don't like using rags or loofahs, rags. They're like, I'll just use soap in my hand. I'm like, how you scrubbing yourself? Soap in hand? Like, that's not cleaning yourself. Like, you gotta actually use a rag or something. Like, you gotta loofah rag. You gotta actually put some friction in and get that dirt off. A lot of them don't even realize that they actually ashy. A lot of them don't even know they actually got ash on their body until I take a black person to show. Let me get that arm, rake your arm, and see all that fucking snow flying off of your arm. That's yeah. You're not. There's no difference. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of misunderstandings that I feel like is done intentionally. I'm not. But they always say history is written and made by the winners. So if how everything is dictated, Christopher Columbus did all this and that, the Native Americans and that. Their history was whitewashed because, quote unquote, they didn't win the war. They didn't win the fight. So whatever really happened is hidden because since they didn't win, they don't dictate what history says. So history can always be changed and altered because the winner of the battle writes the history. So if they don't write history, or if you don't win the battle, you don't get to say in what happens. It's like Independence Day. Like a lot of European, they're like, "Oh, we don't celebrate Independence Day because you lost." But if you ask them like the history, they view it differently. They're taught something different there than we're taught here. They view it very differently. It's in their mindset. I don't think they really view it as a big loss. Sometimes they view it differently. But I mean, there was friction, there was tension there. It's wild, bro.
That's for sure.
And my boy Thad is going to be doing this conspiracy theory thing. But before we go into that part of it, I just want to know, has anybody kept up with like current events? When I don't really keep up with the news like that, because I don't really care for the news too much, but I have, caught winds of a couple of things. And one of the things I've caught winds of that I'm sure Thad would talk about, how do I feel about Latino women? I don't have a problem with them. They're loud. They always want to have kids.
Loud.
I mean, they're funny to be with, to hang out. I mean, to me, I don't.
Yo.
I don't have a preference. I think to me, I don't care if you're black, blue, green, yellow, those don't bother me. It depends on your personality, I think, and how you present yourself. Because I mean, you can look great. So you can be, top 10, top model, whatever you want to be. Everybody can be feeding over you. But if you have a shitty personality, your looks are irrelevant. Your looks at that point are trash.
Yep.
If you have a shallow personality with good looks, your looks don't matter. It doesn't matter. Your looks absolutely don't matter.
You could be a 10 in the face and you'll be a 4 just off of how you carry yourself.
And what's crazy? I've been seeing this trend. People have been doing this interview or on Facebook and whatnot, and they were like, "Oh, let me get your number to these chicks," and the chick was like, "Oh yeah, where you taking me? Oh, where you want to go? Oh, steakhouse." And I just saw this one day, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll go as long as you're paying," because she was like, "Steakhouse, y'all like to have this and this and that," and the dude was like, "As long as you're paying," she's like, "Oh, well, I'm not going." He said, "Oh, then we're not going then." He's like, and he had, I feel like you're giving me broke vibes. And she like looked at him like, what? Like she was about him with the same thing. It's like, oh, are you mad because I hit you with it first? Like you were gonna tell me no, you didn't want to go to date because I didn't want to pay for the meal first. And I was like, what about 50-50? Like it's like you're like you prompted me for the date. And then once I actually where you want to go, I'll drive. And as long as you're paying, you say, oh, I don't want to go. Oh, you're giving me broke vibes. And someone was like,
unpopular. Yeah. But if anything, to the women that do listen or that will listen, if you do 50-50, there's no indication or no reason for the man to assume that you might owe him some bucks. If you pay for your portion, let him pay for you, and especially on a first date. Let that shit marinate, because when it come down to it, you thinking that this motherfucker might be a creep. Pay for your own bill. Get the shit that you know that you can afford to get. Let him see that you paying for that shit yourself, and he might even, oh nah, fuck that, nope, nah, I will never let you do that shit again. But at the same time, there's nothing to be expected. It's legitimately, at that point, y'all both getting to know each other. So it's not where he just asking you out, trying to take you out to get some box, and you not just asking to be taken out or getting taken out so that we could just get some food.
Yeah,
true. Now, if you don't want to do the 50-50 and you rather only him pay for it, don't be surprised if the motherfucker asks, hey, listen, I'm trying to get a little something off the top. I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying don't be surprised if a motherfucker asks for it.
I think one of the things I'm seeing lately is and most of the dating fields on like even on social media, and it's most women calling out guys, oh, I broke up with him because he wouldn't pay my bills. And then it's like, wait, you're trying to date someone and you're getting mad that you're talking to them and they're not willing to pay your bills. You're calling them broke behavior. And it's like, but who's paying your bills right now? You are. So why does you start talking to me that I have to pay your bills? Like it doesn't make, it's not logical. Like we're talking, we're not together, we're not married, but you want me to pay your bills. And if I say no, that's giving broke behavior. But then are you paying your bills? Because if you're not, that's giving broke behavior. Like you're looking for me to pay your bills and we're just talking. Like
or I asked you on a date and I gotta pay for your babysitter. I didn't even know you had kids.
Yeah, babysitter, nails. You gotta pay for this. Why do I gotta pay for all that? Like
outfit.
I shouldn't have to do that on the first date. Like
I'm trying to find you out.
You gotta pay for my babysitter, or I got kids at home. You gotta pick them to go boxes. What do you mean? I came on a date with you. Like I'm all for like if people have kids and you go on a date, you work with that. If it's your cup of tea. But don't instantly expect that if someone's taking you out, they're gonna pay for you, your kids, especially if it's a first date. Like you can't set a bar super high and then get mad that someone's not living up to that standard, because no one is going into a date saying, oh, I'm going on this first date, but then I'm about to spend like $600 because I got to pay for to get her nails done. I got to pay for to have a babysitter. I got to pay for her meal. Oh, and then I got to pay for 3 to-go boxes for her kids to take home to her kids. Like, this is a first date.
You gotta bring your punk ass best friend to be on a date with us too. No.
It's like,
I don't feel safe. Then you shouldn't be here.
Those things always throw me off when I see that, and they're like, "Oh, that's giving him broke behavior." How's it giving broke behavior? Because he's respecting his money, that he's not being a simp. He's not throwing his money at you left and right. I for the life of me, I don't understand that. And I'm not saying that that's the case for every situation, because there are some men that do the same thing. There are definitely some men who do the same thing, and even them, I say, "Yo, get him, go get a fucking job. Stop being a broke ass lazy bitch. Go get a job, dude. Take care of your shit."
Women, and y'all, some of y'all women be out here fucking hobosexuals and then wondering what's going on. Well, you fucking motherfuckers who want to fuck for a place to stay. Hello, what you thought?
First off, a man is not obligated to pay her bills because he's dating her. He has his own bills to pay. It is right. They help them out once in a while, but they may not. But I'm not going to pay your bills. Yeah, true. If I'm going on a date with you for the first time, do not expect me to pay your bills. No, I remember when I was in the dating scene, I remember some chick told me that one time. She was like, even when I was like looking on the dating sites, when I moved into a new area, I remember some chick was like, I'm looking for a good man. I want to go on a date. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, let's go catch a movie. Let's go get a drink, something like that, brunch, something, whatever. Oh, and then she said, what was it? Pay for fun. I'm like, pay for fun? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, your profile said you're looking for someone. Like, you're trying to see the dating world, and you tell me I gotta pay to hang out. I'm not paying to hang out with you. The fuck this is like, I'm not doing that. I'm not that desperate. Thank you very much. Let's see. What is he saying? He's trying. And I think the bot's hitting him because he's writing these long messages. Let's see. No, some people don't understand the being established up front, though. But if you guys have been trawling the news, besides just that, have y'all seen this 7-mile meteor thing that's supposed to be coming towards Earth by like November? You know, I saw this and I did a little research, and then I came across this video where someone was like, they were talking about this thing. It was like, it's an alien coming here with hostile intent. And from what I heard, I was like, yo, how the fuck you know this bitch is coming with hostile intent?
That's
Okay,
what I wanted to know.
it's 7 miles long, all right? It could be a spaceship, but how do you know this motherfucking ship is coming with hostile intent? What did y'all do out there to fucking piss somebody off to have them come and talk to us?
Right. Who y'all make mad? Y'all already like is saying this is what it is. Like, yeah. Okay.
But I mean, if you think about it, there are a lot of things that don't add up with our planet, and a lot of things that don't actually add up with our history. A lot of things that are controversy that you really is very hard to fathom and explain. Like, most people don't realize that in the Bible they talk about dinosaurs. You know, against what everybody says, like, oh, dinosaurs are super extinct millions and millions of years ago. But there are actually scriptures in the Bible where they're actually describing dinosaurs. And if you think about that, it's like, okay, well, dinosaurs are supposed to be around in, like, you know, billions, millions years ago. So how would it be in the Bible, right? Because if you think about the Bible is not older than dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are supposed to be way older than the Bible, right?
Millions of years, yeah.
Millions of years, which also contradicts something else, because there is proof that our human DNA is actually older than the planet Earth. So if our DNA dates back further than Earth, then we're not originally from here. So, exactly. I mean, if we have books like the Bible that talk about dinosaurs being in it, which there's actual passages of them describing dinosaurs, depicting dinosaurs in it, and it's like, you can look it up, it's out there. You start to really re-examine some of those words in there and look at it. It's like, what else have I been told that's not true? Like Aztec Mayans, the pyramids, Egyptians. I mean, you still have a civilization that they say disappeared off the face of the earth without a trace. Then you have civilizations underneath water where they have temples, all that stuff that look immaculate, like they were brand new. Then you also have those talks where they say there's something under California, that one good earthquake, whatever, is going to push up Atlantis, all that good stuff. And there's like, that can't be true. That can't be true. How can it be true? How can it not be true? We've only discovered what, 2%, 5% of the ocean? That's it.
Yep.
There is so much to know. Same thing with space. Like, people can say aliens can't be real. Other life forms can't be real. How can it be real? You know, in 1970, Saturn, when they were trying to look up Saturn and find stuff, and they saw like these particles on Saturn, they brushed it off. It wasn't until this past, I think, 5 years ago, they re-examined what they found on Saturn and realized it was microorganisms on Saturn. Well, if there's microorganisms, it also means that there's life somewhere.
Right.
So, I mean, just because we don't see it, huh?
I walked in at the right time. My bad. I came back in at the right time because I was about to say something. Yeah, do your thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. You know, there's a lot of unknowns that are out there that people don't realize. I mean, a lot of people don't want to believe it because, you know, first thing people think is as negative stuff. I mean, but I think I think about all the shit that's going on right now. You had a big hurricane that happened that was supposed to, not hurricane, earthquake that was supposed to spark a tsunami in I think China, Japan. That was supposed to hit Hawaii.
Yeah.
You have all these heat waves are happening there in places that normally don't happen. You have massive floods happening.
Place.
Yeah, you have stuff happening in places that are not supposed to happen, and all of a sudden, now you have a 7-mile asteroid meteor coming towards Earth that's supposed to be here by November, but is quote unquote supposed to be an alien spaceship with hostile intent. And that's like, how do you know? How do you know this? Are you hiding something from us? I mean, it's not uncommon for a government to do that to the people. I mean, I feel like this would be a kind of a big deal for people to know.
First off, I don't think that they would tell the public just off of panic.
Mass hysteria.
No,
Yeah,
I feel
There's nothing you can do.
when I heard about it, I thought about you, Thad. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. When
Oh yeah, because remember what I said years ago.
yeah, when we watched that,
I'm gonna be the first person to come across an alien.
Years
And
ago,
fuck
me and Thad watched this movie called Dead Girl. Don't watch it. Just know the name. Don't look it up. Don't watch it. It's not worth your time. It's a really fucked up movie. Xbox had this thing where you can be in a party and watch movies together. So that's what we did. That was like when Xbox was doing like the whole party thing. You could watch Netflix together. Yeah, you remember that shit. We watched this movie and then we did a scenario. And this motherfucker here was like, yo, if an alien came down, I bring it in my house and I do the experiments. I'm not gonna give it into the government because why would I do that? They're gonna do the same thing. So when they say hostile aliens coming here, potentially I'm like, yo, who the fuck caught the alien and started experimenting? Who do we need to go talk to? Thad, you did something out there in North Carolina?
Not me. Not this time. Not this time. I ain't do nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's the government trying to
on the alien talk. To be honest, I
true.
feel like they had to have known for a very, very long time.
They've been saying that thing has been coming since 2017 or 18.
I mean, I was gonna say aliens are already here, though.
Talking about this armada thing that they talking about. I'm talking about specifically, like, all right, before we had telescopes and shit like that, the Dogon tribe knew of the star system without any of these modern technologies, and I'm talking years, decades, damn near centuries ago. They knew about these things. There's depictions on fucking there's hieroglyphs and all of that shit showing motherfuckers wearing astronaut helmets, fucking ships coming from space, all of that. There's no way that shit has been pre-recorded before we had actual scribers and shit like that for it to become like hey, listen, we don't know. Not to mention this fucking universe is too vast for us to not have for us to be the only life forms out there. No way. No way.
Yeah, completely no way.
The Dogons knew about Sirius B, and whatnot years before some of these astronomers, these world-renowned astronomers know. Come on now, come on. Ain't no way that y'all had absolutely no understanding of what the fuck was out there. Stop it.
Facts. No, but also Thad's mentioned something to me the other day, and I didn't pay much mind, but as I was sitting here thinking about it. For those who don't know, our Earth has started to spin faster and move faster. And that brought to my attention that, quote unquote, our Earth has kind of hit the sacred timeline again of quote unquote.
Oh, yeah.
That you were saying before?
Yeah, because they wound up missing. We had what was it? What do they call it? The Mandela effect. When it came down to that old movie, I forgot the name of it. Just that quick.
You want to talk about the one with Sinbad? You talking about that one?
Sinbad, yeah.
That was legit, bro. I remember that movie on Disney.
And it just pops back up randomly. We jump timelines again. I'm gonna just say that I don't think we just stick in one. I think we jump back and forth between timelines or dimensions.
I mean, there's also talks of well, it's not talks, it's actual factual thing, and they're waiting to see. So what was it? I forgot how many years ago, but there's that Earth, that planet Earth X, whatever, that one that they saw light years away. That's like 3 or 4 times bigger than our Earth, or whatever it was. Apparently, that Earth at some point, it's in a different universe that's rotating, but at some point it rotates enough to where we can actually see it. And I guess it does like every a millennial or something like that. But we're almost at that point again where that planet's supposed to be coming closer to us again, where we could be able to see it. And then it's supposed to be gone for another however many years again, and then rotate back around. Huh?
I was gonna say you talking about what an Anunnaki? Nibiru.
I think that's Nibiru.
I don't know the planet what it's called, but they said every now and then it comes close to us, and they think when that planet comes close to us, that is when, you know, how in Egypt where they depict like, you know, those giants and all the stuff coming from the space. Yeah. They think that is when those beings would come from here, and I'm like, could be, never know. I mean, I wasn't around in that time frame, so you know. But they also talk about when we die, that you have energy in your body when you die, that they try to record. There was a thing that they said when people die, your essence or whatever it is, quote unquote soul, it leaves your body and it travels, and they recorded it. It travels light years away somewhere else where it sits. And I'm like, that sounds ominous and weird at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, how are you figuring this stuff out? Like, how are you knowing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, shoot.
There are so many unknowns that will probably never be answered in our lifetime. Let's.
Oh yeah, all the documentation that's really going to be needed to explain all of it is going to be released well past our time.
And maybe be released before the Epstein files. You never know.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Definitely. Oh man, that's a fact. Nah, that's a definite fact.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, shoot.
That's hilarious.
No, but I mean, hell, when we talk about if you're going to talk about the giants and stuff, like mentioning if they come back and whatnot, if Nephilim's, I don't think Nephilim's ever left.
No, there's all the stuff that they say.
I don't either.
All those things.
Like,
they didn't
I'm
leave,
talking
bro.
about from the minerals. I'm talking about minerals and stuff that they find in these caves and whatnot just happen to look like body fat and muscle tissue and shit like that.
I just
saw
saw
also these places that look like they've been like as if they form a shape of a body.
Oh yeah, like the snakes, bro. Like most people don't realize, like anacondas. They're like, oh, anacondas, but no, there was a snake called starts with a T. This big ass snake, back in the day, and this motherfucker was huge. I'm glad it went extinct, but apparently there's signs that it, or I'm quote unquote it went extinct. But apparently there are signs in South Africa or South America, wherever the snake is, where it's super hot, that there's signs that maybe that snake actually didn't go extinct, that it just went into hiding. And now that it's getting so hot out, they're starting to resurface, because a lot of people are starting to see in certain places where they describe big creatures or unseen things, they're starting to see them more frequently now. There's recently a mining company got mad because Titanoboa. Recently people got this mining company got mad with the government because they just found out that underneath in the ocean, on the ocean floor, there are minerals on the like these little stones, and inside those stones it's creating oxygen on the ground floor of the ocean. Not using trees. Not using, you know, how they say how oxygen is made on the earth where you breathe. No, it's literally being made in the water right now. Like, and they're trying to find ways how to mine these stones that are somehow being deposited in the bottom of the ocean that have oxygen in them. Like, it's a legit thing. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how are y'all finding all this weird shit? Or, and in my opinion, I'm like, or are y'all just throwing shit out here right now, trying to grab our attention and just trying to distract from what's going on? It's like the same thing when the COVID shots happened, and when Ukraine and Russia started doing all their fucking weird shit, and they popped out fucking the the disclaimer for the COVID shots, the brochure, and all stuff that wasn't supposed to be coming out, all of a sudden it dropped, and it was just brushed under the table. No one really talked about it because they were worried about Ukraine and Russia, but not paying attention to the stuff that was actually going in front of their face that they should have been paying attention to, like, you know, the warnings about COVID, like those COVID vaccines, like the side effects, like that. It was a whole fucking thing that when it came out, people were so mad, even military people, because they were forced to get those shots, knowing that there was actual risks to getting those shots. It wasn't safe. And then when they dropped that list, everybody's like, yo, y'all dropped that list like 6 months ago. What happened 6 months ago? What happened was Russia and Ukraine started a war with each other, you know, power hungry Russia. And they dropped the list, but it was overlooked because on the other side of the pond, there was stuff going on where people's attention was, but they weren't looking at what they needed to be looked at. And that's normally what happens. The government, you know, most government or other places are like, hey, look at this hand. Don't mind this one over here. Well, I'm going to do all the dirt with this one.
That's the classic move.
We're like magicians. Slide of hand
The old
trick.
bait and switch.
That's what our friend in office is doing now. Look over here. Don't look there.
You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got
don't
someone
worry
else
about the
watching
Epstein files.
our
Yeah,
chat.
me
He didn't
want it.
stop in, but my boy Jose I used to work with, he was supposed to be topping in and tuning into the chat, and he's just sitting there in the third wheel. Well, my pops, you know, he has this thing. You know how Diddy has his baby oil, right? Well, my boy has hot honey. He's like, I'll use hot honey. I'm not gonna use baby oil because, you know, Diddy ruined it. I'm like, yo, that just sounds sticky and messy. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, I don't. No, hot honey is crazy. Yo, hot honey is very messy.
Oh,
You gotta wash sheets and all that shit
About
afterwards.
the wax scene going down after that. It's about to be a problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. All you gonna hear is ow. Oh, no.
Well, my dad did say though, like the government was trying to scare us in 2000. I do remember that when 1999.
Oh, the Y2K.
Yeah, the Y2K, the world's going to end in year 2000. Just
Hey, y'all better stock up on y'all.
yeah, I remember that. And 2000 came, we're all sitting there like there was no end of the world.
People trying to
With
build
the Mayan calendar shit, how it's supposed the end of the world was gonna happen. I think was that also Y2K?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was a little bit afterwards.
Song
Oh, my
going
bad.
into 2000.
There was something that
And then-
happened in 2010 as well,
Well,
wasn't it?
I don't.
2012 was something else. The world was supposed to end.
Yeah. You were supposed to hear the trumpets. The Raptor was coming in 2012. I remember that. None of that shit
Wait,
happened.
speaking of that, did you know that there's a broadcast that went out not too long ago talking about if people heard the trumpets, don't go outside, like
Yeah,
stay your ass inside and all that. Yo, I was like, what the fuck? What do they know that's going? Like, what y'all been hearing, dog?
It said people radio stations was doing that and shit. I don't know what that was, cause I heard that several people channels and they were like recording it too. I was like, what the hell?
No, there have been some really strange supernatural phenomenons that have been happening that can't be explained. Now, I give them that. There are some weird things that are going on that can't be explained. Even scientists
Yeah,
and experts sometimes don't know how to explain some of this stuff.
that that little incident that happened in Russia last week was quite different.
I don't know about that one. Inform me. I don't watch news.
It was like a earthquake and a tsunami was coming.
Oh, that's what we were just talking about
Okay.
earlier. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
China and
Like,
Hawaii and all that
like
stuff.
military and all of that, and I was like, I'm kind of feeling something strange going on because they always said for years that the government is able to mess with the weather patterns and stuff.
I mean, I believe that. I mean, they also say,
I'ma
what's it
keep it real.
in the North Pole? There's part of the North Pole, like Antarctica, that you're not allowed to go. The ice wall.
Oh yeah.
You're not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to fly there. You're not allowed to take pictures of it. You're not allowed to even really breathe about it. I mean, and the people who do go there, they end up disappearing. They're no longer heard from.
You know what? It's also said that the elites that are allowed access into the elites being high, like the motherfuckers who got the most money type shit.
Mhm.
Like, there's only one person who wasn't an elite that went over there. He was a pilot, and he said
Yeah.
that he found basically like a whole nother world once you got past that point. It's like entrance to a whole nother sector. So if that is the case, right, and we still on conspiracy theories, what if the realms, like the 9 realms, is a real thing?
I mean,
Like,
believe it or not, a lot of people say the space and the moon are the same, or the space and the ocean is the same too. Believe it or not.
yeah. I've heard that. I've heard
a lot,
that as well.
because how you move in the water as you go deeper is the same way as you move into space. It's the exact same way. You have the void in space, which is crazy because you can be almost right by the sun and still die from being too cold if you didn't have proper stuff in space. Even though when you're on the planet Earth and you're sitting here, we're super far away from the sun, right? We're dying here. But if you're in space, which theoretically you're kind of closer to the sun in space, you're not feeling that heat, which is it's kind of odd to me. I know it's the space vacuum. It's the same thing with the ocean. It's the void of the light, and that's why it gets cold. But if you're in space and you're closer to the sun, space vacuum or not, you should still feel some type of heat. I mean,
yeah, that's probably based upon like atmospheric pressure, holding and being able to retain that feeling of heat compared to the void of space being nothing to contain that. It's just, it might be a light, but it's so fucking dark.
I mean, like the stars you see, quote unquote, the stars you see in the sky are distant suns that have already died out. You're just seeing them millennium years away, light years away, and they haven't completely died out on our end, which I don't know how long they stay up. I remember, what was it? I don't know if y'all ever went to the planetarium growing up in school, but I remember I had a little field trips in planetarium and we go into the auditorium and see the stars and the Jupiter, and they had that star called the Betelgeuse that was a red star in the sky, the only red star. And I always like, how is there only one red star in the sky? And I mean, I now that I think about it, I don't see too many people talking about that star anymore. But there was only that one red star, and then what happened after that? Pluto's no longer a planet no more. It's a moon or just a rock. It's like all these changes happen. Then you also had that once upon a time, they found what was Planet X beyond Pluto at one point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was no longer a thing. And I was like, wait, you guys are talking about certain things, and when people start to, look and watch and try to figure out what's going on, all of a sudden it's no longer a thing. What is really going on? Or is the idea of what you were trying to do is not working? But for me, it's like they said going to the moon was staged because all the stuff that happened, and no one really went to the moon the first time. Also,
I could believe that.
So I was trying to have an argument with someone. I think it was Magda about the moon. So you know how the moon, when you see the moon on the new moon or full moon, it's super bright, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, how is the moon so bright? And I looked up the reason why the moon is so bright, because it has metallic metals on the moon, right? So we're spinning, and this has always threw me off because I try to be logical with it, and maybe I'm just, my mind is just not there. But so we're spinning, right? We're spinning around, we're rotating. This is the Earth spinning demonstration. This is the Earth. We're spinning. This is the moon. The moon has all these metallic stuff on it that is supposed to reflect the sun, right? And according to NASA and everybody else, we only see one side of the moon at all times. The whole moon has the metallic side on it, but we only see one side of the moon at all times. If that is the case, and we're only seeing one side of the moon at all times, while the Earth is spinning and the moon is not spinning, right? And the whole moon is supposed to be covered with metallic craters or the stuff that's supposed to reflect the sunlight. Why don't we see this moon 24/7 then? Because if the moon is reflecting the sunlight and this moon has that stardust on it that's metallic and reflects the sun no matter what, then in theory, we should always see the moon full. There should be never a moment where we see the moon that's blacked out, because the sun is always hitting the moon. So it's always reflecting off the moon. So the moon, in theory, in the sky should always be bright, but it's not, which doesn't add up. And if you look up, it says the moon has little like particles on it that's supposed to make it look bright, and you always see one side of the moon, the same side of the moon. You always see it. Well, if we always see the same side of the moon, why does one side get darker than the other? And why does it sometimes you can't see it at all? I mean, if it's reflecting the sun and the moon stays in the same spot, the moon doesn't move. We move, quote unquote, they said. If the moon really truly doesn't move like that, and it's going around us, but it doesn't rotate. So we're only seeing one side. So if the sun is constantly hitting that moon and we're the only thing that's spinning, why does the moon have a dark phase then? If the whole moon is covered with this metallic, shiny shit, we should always see the moon no matter what. But we don't. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I know for sure that I believe I've heard some about there being a second moon, but I know it's a definite second sun out there that's harder for us to spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
What up, Tosh? But yeah, we on podcast timing.
Oh, my fault. You sound passionate. I'm like,
nah, but we definitely we definitely have studies on there being a second sun out there for sure.
I mean, there's studies on all this stuff out there, but there's always something that contradicts it, though. It makes you wonder, like, is it our knowledge of contradicting it, or is it just people are just throwing shit out there and just hoping people are gravitating it? Because
I think it's that.
It's like, and that's maybe it's just me being like a dyslexic person and not taking everything that everybody tells me with face value sometimes. Because when some people tell me certain shit like it's supposed to be like knowledge, I look at it like it may come from book and it's supposed to be knowledgeable, but it doesn't sound logical to me. It's like if you go into philosophy, and I had this conversation with a philosophy teacher before when I was doing my college stuff, and I said, I think everything's a scam. I said the commandments, all right? And I'm not really religious, but I'm spiritual and stuff, But when I think about it, I said, okay, you got the 10 commandments. You had one person, quote unquote, walked up somewhere, came back down, said, I got 10 commandments that someone said to me. The Bible is man-made. All religion is man-made. Period. I took a religious course. I passed with an A.
I don't think you should be listening to this, Taj. You just came from your conviction.
But I'm listening.
No, but it's documented that all religion is man-made. The oldest religion out there is like a Hindu. I forgot, it's a Hindu religion or something like that. But all religions are man-made, right? If all religions are man-made, how did they get the knowledge? You just got one person that said, this is what someone said. How do you know that they actually spoke to someone? You're just taking their word. Leap of faith, right? Just leap of faith. They spoke to someone, they said this. But how do you verify that? This one person walked up and came down with a stone and said, these are 10 commandments. This is what we're supposed to go by. Who's validating that? One person made the rules, and then you had a bunch of people get together, males or women, most likely males back in the day, and said, these are going to be the rules. We're going to say some higher being said it. It's man-made, though. It's like they always say, you got to give your tithes to the church. You got to do this. You got to do that. No, you don't. It's man-made. What y'all say in the Bible? God's here now. He's here nor there. He doesn't want or whatever. Doesn't need anything. So if he doesn't need that, and the Bible says your body's your temple, why am I donating to a church or any establishment? My temple is my body. I'm going to put it into my body because that's what's said in the Bible, right? The church is man-made. Why am I lining a pocket of somebody else? That's not logical, not feasible, does not make sense to me. All religion is man-made. So I take all religion stuff with a grain of salt, in my opinion, these days.
The church itself was actually more enlisted with the government more than
to control. It was a way to control people. It's all a form of control. And it said, okay, we have a government. Oh, they want to listen. Well, let's give them a church. Let's give them something to believe in. Because then, if the church says it, and they believe an almighty being is telling them this, they need to do this, they'll fall in line. But if you have individuals like myself who think differently, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. If you're telling me one thing, but then the history that you're saying actually contradicts what you're saying, I'm less likely to believe you. And that's why a lot of doctors and scientists don't believe in God. They don't believe in certain things because you're like, oh, praise God, you saved me. And they're sitting there thinking, God didn't save you. He wasn't in the operating room. I was doing that work. That was me. That was me doing it. Like, he didn't do that. I ain't breaking the rules, doing what I'm supposed to do, because in reality, we're not supposed to be cutting your body and doing all this stuff, but I'm doing it. I mean, that's how it's viewed. So I don't know.
I personally, I'm spiritual myself, but I still honestly hold to certain degrees of, hey, this may not necessarily make sense on how I'm just seeing it, but then at the same time, through my own experiences, I do believe, I do know that there is a creator. From what I've witnessed, from what I've been through, and what I've experienced myself, I honestly I'd feel dumb as fuck myself at the end of my road for me to be like, damn, I don't think there was nobody that, like, if it wasn't, hey, fuck it. It is what it is. I still live my life as an individual who still try to do right by others.
No, I believe there's a creator. I do.
That's at the end of that, that's the way I look at it. Now, when it comes down to specific religions and whatnot, if we're gonna do that based upon Bible and whatnot, the Tower of Babel itself is an indicator that we all at one point in time spoke the same language.
Yeah.
And if not, even if it wasn't verbal, it could have been telepathic, where we legitimately was able to feel energetic wise, or even whatever.
I mean, you only lose so much of your brain.
That's possible as well too. You know what I'm saying? But the thing of overall, I truly believe that there's one particular case that, you know what I'm saying, we depending on what language barrier you was in place or was placed upon you, you took what understanding you had and tried to teach it in a way that, now, this is what we understand or what we remember, what was spoken down to, because it wasn't necessarily written down in books, but it was told by story.
No, word of mouth.
If that's the case, if that's the case, the knowledge that was passed down can only be taught. Hey, this is what we found to be true for us. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody has the exact same thing. No, not at all. There's a lot of things that was switched around and whatnot, but the understanding that there was a creator, or that there is a creator, and that there was a Messiah, is definitely something that each and every one of these religions do speak on. Now, the name may change, but it doesn't necessarily say that. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's a different entity or overall. It just means that, hey, this is what the likeness of. I'm saying that we like for this person to be of our likeness. All of everybody, every race would.
I definitely believe there was a higher being, but at the same time, some of the stuff I've seen and researched and looked at, sometimes I also think that there's a higher being, but not in the way that people think about of a higher being. I believe that we were a failed experiment. All honesty,
hell yeah.
I definitely feel like we're a failed experiment, just because with how they do DNA shit these days, to make it more solid, is there's no way our DNA should be older than the Earth unless we were implanted here, and our DNA tracks that it's older than the planet Earth.
And honestly, now on that note, yes, because there's people who, according to certain scientists, our bodies move on the same kind of, for their terms, circadian rhythm of Mars. Basically, our life, like our bodies, our sleeping process, so on and so forth, was more in tune.
There was life on Mars at one point in time, which most people don't realize that. Like, there's pyramids, there's stuff on there. It dried out, and I mean, knock on wood. I wouldn't be surprised if, our civilization was on Mars at one point, and shit just went
We
left and
fucked up
sideways
Mars.
and fucked it up, and it's like, yeah, there's a planet right there. Let's hop to it. And that could have been what happened. They could have just hopped planets, and then they said, all
You
right.
said what, Tosh?
Was I the only one that heard his mic going in and out just now?
Yeah, probably.
Yours went a little choppy as well. But nah, yeah, absolutely right. The hell, I think that it legit was a war type shit that could have taken place, and we fucked that planet over as well.
And you know what's funny? That rover that's supposed to be on Mars, you know how it was like a big thing, and they're like giving updates of what's going on Mars. Have you not noticed, like in the past, like few months, it'd been no updates after they said they found some signs of life on Mars and found some statues and pyramid symbols and all this other stuff, like actual structures. Radio silence about it. And then, like the next thing I've heard is now there's a 7-mile asteroid or whatever ship that's coming towards Earth with hostile intent. And that's always goes, how do you know it's coming with hostile intent unless you did something to fuck somebody up and piss them off? You wake up one morning and it's like
also
alert.
the shit that they thought was space debris, but it turned out to be a satellite. I forgot the name of it. Black something. It's Black Knight, I think, or something like that. It's legit big ass satellite that they have no control over, that's just spinning around the Earth.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to hear that shit. And if there really is this fucking warship coming here, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think it could be the Anunnaki coming back. Like, hey, we left all these black people here. That's a joke I got from a comedian. I ain't gonna front. I still left from a comedian. But no, I think that shit is real. Because this no way
specify one.
Like,
I mean,
we left all these black people
from all the research I've read. So
the reason why I said, hold on, my bad, Zone, my bad. Let me finish this. The reason why I said that is because even the scientists know we're the only motherfuckers who don't have this Neanderthal DNA that a lot of white people have, and most other people, we don't have that makeup a part of our DNA. They do. They have that.
There's that talk about
monkey DNA and shit like that. That's not us.
That they
Monkeys
have their skin is a genetic mutation that they weren't supposed to be that color. That it was a genetic mutation and a certain group of people that made them white. And in reality, that wasn't supposed to be the color they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be like everybody else. It just didn't happen. How true it is, I don't know, because again, I haven't did tons of research on it, but that is out there though.
Well.
So I mean,
that is also Anunnaki shit where the people are supposed to have been made in the image of, quote unquote, their creator. That's where that shit also comes into play as well too. There's some say like, oh, the people who have more reddish, ruddy skin and whatnot weren't even supposed to have that particular color stone. It was supposed to be more of a greenish hue, but then something about the oxygen and shit in this neighborhood is crazy. And on this planet kind of fucked up the skin tone and made them rusty or ruddy colored instead. Then they have I've heard some other shit about Caucasians being made to look more like their creator, like the person who made them, so that way it's more like a genetic tag instead of it being I'm this color. No, you have a genetic tag like cattle.
It makes you think about some of those movies that they make though, with space stuff and how they get in certain details about things. You sitting there like, man, are they trying to tell us something with some of these movies, or is this complete fiction? And some of the stuff you would probably sit there and wonder like, yo, this legit could possibly be like real. You probably like, this could be real, or they trying to tell like the whole alien thing where they talk about like, you know, the face hugger. That shit could all be real. All that shit could be real. All those aliens could be real. Just because you don't see it does not mean it's not there. I mean, space. I mean, there are talks. Like, you have those flat earthers out there. They'd be like, "Yo, the planet's flat." But regardless of what you say, it's flat because they have maps. They have maps that quote unquote, you know, like it says this or missing this part of land. But then they also try to use logic with the maps. Because they say, okay, if the world is round, like they say, right? The world is round, like everybody says. When you're looking distance down or you're throwing something, it should be some type of change in curvature because how the world is. Not to mention, when you're taking a flight, if you look at a map when you're taking a flight and you look at the directions that they take, sometimes they take directions that you're like, why are you taking that direction when this route would have been the most logical route to take, but yet you're doing this route like you would if the Earth was flat. Which it makes sense. And then lately, which is I think is
themselves.
The thing that's what really been shaking people, or I don't know who's been on planes lately, but a lot of planes are going above the clouds and like into like the part where they almost look like they're in fucking space, and people are like, yo, since when did we start going super high up that we're above the clouds and look almost like we're in the space atmosphere?
I saw that video.
All the airplanes come from the airport by my house, and I was noticing that last week. Why were they like flying literally in a cloud where it disappeared? Like, I was like, what the hell?
And most people don't know. Like, it's like, oh, when people make those jokes about like the clouds falling, you better pray the clouds never fall out the fucking sky. Because if the clouds fall out the sky, we are all dead. As the clouds weigh tons of fucking weight, and people are like, you fly through them and whatnot. But if a cloud was to fall on you, you'd be squished. You'd be no more you. The clouds are that heavy and dense. Cloudburst? I've never seen a cloudburst before.
Cloudburst? Yo, legitimate, complete out of nowhere, just straight downpour. I mean, hard drops of water. Not no. Okay, well, it's just rain sprinkle. No, the motherfucking water falling from the sky. Yeah. Hitting shit, crashing down hard as hell. You can look up cloudburst and see how that shit looks. It is fucking terrifying.
There's just a lot of things. There's a lot of things that just don't make sense sometimes, and we're definitely going to be start digging into them more. I actually kind of like this conspiracy theory session we did. That we're gonna have to start doing this more, bro.
The new conspiracy theories.
The way my mind works, like I'm all for it. I can entertain a conspiracy theory conversation. I can play devil's advocate on both sides. So the way my mind works, yeah, I can do it. I might make everybody like, what the fuck, he's crazy. No, but if you think about it, it's just a conversation. And I mean, conversations can lead anywhere, but it just gives you something to think about. Like, I mean, things aren't probably how you perceive them. Like, I don't like the English language. Like, for being severely dyslexic and looking at like other languages and trying to learn them, and then coming back to the English language and looking at it, to me, honestly, as a severely dyslexic person, the English language is the most stupidest language to me when it comes to like writing and grammar and stuff like that, and how things are done.
I have that too, so it definitely is a check.
Yeah, it doesn't add up to me. And I always question certain things when it comes to the language barrier on when it comes to words. So, like I was saying earlier, when I talked to a philosophy teacher and we're talking about psychology shit and whatnot, and we're saying like, you know, I find it very hard to believe certain things. It's not like I won't ever believe it. It just will take me a little bit of time to try to see that point of view on certain things. Because like, if you look into the sky, right, you look outside, most people see 3 spectrums of color, right? But women see a 4th spectrum of color. They see a slight hint of pink in the sky that we don't see. Most people don't realize that. Women see an additional spectrum of color when they look up in the sky, which means their eyes perceive things differently than what we do. So if you see a rainbow, there's a possibility that someone else might not see that rainbow, or they might see it differently. But even going further than that, when I was having this conversation and we're talking about language, I'm like, who made up the language English, or just things in general? Like, who looked at an apple and said, this is an apple, this is an orange, this color here is blue. What if that color is actually red? Like, who dictated all that shit? It's just, they woke up, or a cat here and it's like, hey, this is the language. This is what we're gonna say. No, who determined everything was gonna be what it was? Like,
I literally looked it up.
Who determined that shit? Like, who's like, this is the English language. This color's gonna be this. This is gonna be that. Like, who did all that? And then everybody said, oh yeah, we're just gonna agree with it. Like, what if like years from now or whatever, someone comes down and is like, you guys have been like doing shit all wrong. Like, the sky's not really blue. It's orange. Like, y'all are all looking at shit all the wrong way. Like, I think that would just throw people off.
I'd be a mad son bitch. You mean to tell me all my life, this shit has been a different color than what I've been actually seeing? Fuck you. I don't know. No.
But it's even like how we splice words together in America. As was it vineyard, right? Vineyard. VINEYARD. Vineyard, right?
Yeah,
now you
shut
up. But you space it out, right?
Yeah.
You space it out. You say vine, yard. But for some reason, when you put them together, the whole word completely just changes. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Or how a K is silent in front of the letter N for night. How's a K silent? Like, what the fuck? Or
decided to put an unnecessary letter there.
Yeah, unnecessary letter that's not even heard. Well, then why is it fucking there? Why is that letter there? It's unnecessary.
I want to. Last name for night.
In armor, you talking about the night at night.
Night, like a night, like.
Yeah,
no, that's the reason it's there to differentiate.
Nah, but that's cool.
That doesn't make any sense
that
though.
Doesn't make sense for knife.
It
for certain words, that shit just don't add up.
No, for certain words, it's not needed. But I'm just saying there are.
But it's not needed. But yet it's still there. Why? Why is it more complicated than it needs to be? That's my thing. They made the English language complicated for no reason. Even people who learn other languages, they'll say the English language makes no sense. Now, mind you, other languages have other letters, more letters in their alphabet and all this other crazy shit, right? But to them, even them looking from the outside with no neurological things messed up, to them, the English language is the dumbest language when it comes to like spelling certain things and how things are used. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. But yet society dictates it is, so everybody just flows with it. But if you really sit down, you look at certain words and you really think about it, it's like, that doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be used that way, or why some words have like 5 different meanings in the English language. The same word spelled the same way, but it means 5 different things. What? Why? That makes no sense. Absolutely no sense.
Make it.
Like in other languages, the same word, they don't use the exact same word for everything else. It's literally a different word or slightly spelled different. In America, you can use the same word to mean 5 different things. And you have to know the person you're talking to make sure that word is adding up the right way.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Welcome to planet Earth.
Okay, Captain Ginyu.
There's definitely a lot of weird shit that should have definitely been. Oh, what the hell?
Oh.
That's weird. What the fuck?
But we digress. This was a good show.
Yeah.
This was definitely a good fun show. I'm glad my aunt came out, Lady T.
Very cool.
That exhale, we're not gonna let that face.
No, because I could go on for hours talking about this stuff, but in reality, I mean, I'm not gonna drag the podcast out for like 5 hours. We've been recording for like already 2. So.
We had a good time today.
Yeah.
He sounded like he just saw somebody wrote a letter. He saw all these words. He just threw that off the table for.
Oh, no, if someone writes me a mad long email, I look at it for like 3 days before I read it. Like, I'm not reading that shit. I tell anybody, if you write me an email and it's like a quick message, like, oh, I'm gonna send you a quick message, and it's like it looks like 5 paragraphs, I'm gonna leave you on red for like 3 days, because it's gonna take me 3 days to figure out if I really want to read this bullshit. I'm gonna look at it and be like, do I want to read this? Do I want to strain my brain to read this bullshit? Because that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be bullshit.
Zone was definitely K response, motherfucker, whenever he got a message from a woman he was tired of her, and they hit you with the K.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, I
And then
might do
go.
that, but I would eventually message back. Like, I definitely would message back, but you're not getting a response from me like you would. Like, I would talk to you, but I'm not about to type out. Like, even like when I'm typing sometimes on my phone, like texting, and someone's trying to like have a full conversation, and I start texting, I'm like, yo, this is too long to text this out. I'll wait till we talk in
Call me,
person.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Just call
I was
me.
like, oh, I can't do that. Well, then I guess you don't want to talk to me then. If you don't want to talk on the phone or in person, I'm not about to fucking reply back via text as long as shit.
JP made females bad enough to send paragraphs, and he need more read.
Mr. Entertainer.
That's hilarious.
But I want to thank Lady T for coming out. As always, I will post her social handles where you guys can follow her and like her. She's doing great on YouTube. If you guys don't know, she has over 1K followers and subscribers. So she's definitely doing her thing. She's definitely making a difference in people's life and showing them the DIYs.
Thank you guys for having me. And yeah, I really, really appreciate it. So
I hope we can get her back on in the future.
Yeah, definitely, I will.
So-
like a plan.
We will cut out here.
You know, like I'm into the conspiracy thing too, so don't leave me out of those. I love it.
Oh, snap.
If we ever have a good conspiracy theory one up, I'll send you a message and see if you want to swing in and give some 2 cents on it. Like I said, our podcast, when we're in this little channel on my little Discord, and it's always open. If people want to come in and tune into the conversation, have some fun, and you can always catch it live on the stream and type in, like my father seemed to do quite a bit, or you can join the Discord and actively participate with your voice. Okay. You know, I keep it pretty chillax. I don't edit much. Actually, I don't edit anything. I have them keep it real. I keep it super raw and fun. So that's how we always do it. So
Yeah.
on that note, this is your
Definitely
boy
appreciate it.
signing out. What'd you say?
I said definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Until
Thank you
next
for stopping
time.
by, for sure.
Yes, thanks for stopping by. And like I said, you guys check out the audio, click the links that was going to be posted with this podcast episode so you can find her and maybe place an order for a cake. Like she said, she is doing her thing and she has no problem getting a cake to you guys if you have an order. She does specialty cakes. But you'll have to get with her prices because she does that, not me. But salutations. We will be back next Sunday with another podcast, and we'll see how that goes. Until then,
Peace, niggas.
All right, good night, y'all.